All right, I think I can work with that. If I just keep talking in a regular sentence, let's just see how these wavelengths look.
I mean, my waves were not nearly as big as yours, so you can suck my dick again.
How does one suck a wave?
I think it's more so you take the wave.
You take the wave?
You take the wave. You suck until it waves.
Okay. Let me break this down real quick. So you take a wave, and by taking a wave,
No. You take the pole.
What pole? When did the pole get here? When did we invite a pole
It's a
to
pole
a wave party?
in the ocean, and you're sucking on the pole until the wave comes.
But you just
I'm using wave as
you
come.
just introduced the. Oh.
See, allegory.
Well, I thought the wave was a body, like a body of wave water.
Oh.
So that's when the pole. You can't just introduce a pole in Act 3 and be like, "Hey, this isn't fucking Chekhov's pole." Maybe it is. Speaking of Act 3, this is Act 4. Season 4.
Season 4.
We've done it.
We're here. We're back again.
We're here. We're back again. We're enjoying some whiskey.
Yes, we are.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, buddy. I've missed you.
Oh, I've missed you as well. I've listened back to some episodes and I realize I'm not very good at reciprocating. Like when someone says, I miss you, what's the response?
Oh, thank you.
Or I miss you too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's supposed to be. I
think
miss you too.
my responses have been more on the former. Oh,
that's sweet.
I was like, wait, does he not want to be around me? I miss you too, buddy.
Oh.
What are you doing for Christmas?
Ooh, releasing an episode of this podcast.
Correct. Me too. I'm doing the same thing.
Oh, twinsies.
Oh, that's so great.
You're so great.
I'm sitting here in my new
listeners. Listen. Is it soft?
It's the softest jams I've ever worn.
So Sean is wearing pajama bottoms. They're pajama shorts covered to the brim with s'mores. So he's wearing s'mores shorts.
I should clarify, their s'mores are not stuck to me. The print is s'mores. However, that's an idea.
That is an idea, and I want that now.
These are MeUndies. And hey, MeUndies, go ahead and sponsor us real quick, if you don't mind. I really do love MeUndies. They're so comfy.
MeUndies. Get comfy.
Get comfy. Yeah, so it felt like the vibe. If we're going to be doing a Christmas episode to start off season 4, it's like, get fucking cozy.
Cozy.
We'll talk about your cocktail here in a minute, but I also put little fragrances in the oil diffuser.
It smells so good in here.
Yeah, it just felt like the thing to do, Ty.
Well, that's why I made the cocktail the way I did.
Well, do we do a cocktail? Do we do a theme song?
Oh wait, we have to do the.
My kitty's now fast asleep, I can pour myself a glass. But too many shows on Netflix are trash, it makes me wanna pass. I can't figure out what to watch, what am I supposed to do? Let's get drunk and rewatch cartoons when we were little dudes. Do Whiskeylodeon.
All right, Ty. So obviously it is not December 24th right now at the time of this recording. It's
correct.
It's pollen season.
Yes.
And I am so congested. So I'm doing my best, but I think this cocktail that you have made is going to help.
I hope so, because I have made the Christmas old fashioned. So any old fashioned is going to have your simple syrup, your bitters. I'm using Angostura, and then your whiskey. And so the simple syrup I made was a 2-to-1 ratio of sugar to water. So it's like a Demerara type sugar or syrup, or inverted, however you want to call it. But I infused that with cinnamon, with clove, with allspice, with orange peel, and shit, is it so good?
Yeah, that really is Christmas in a goblet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it. I'm obsessed with it.
Well, I'm gobbling up this goblet.
You dirty boy. But you've prepared something that you've put little breadcrumbs, if you will, throughout the last little while, and I think this season we're going to try to capitalize on that.
Yeah. So I have made my bonbons. So for those who are confused, a bonbon is really just a molded chocolate that has a filling inside. That's it. Think of like, oh, it's a truffle, but with a chocolate shell.
I don't know why I always thought bonbon was like a bread situation. Doesn't it feel like it could be like a big like pastry?
It could be. I mean, you could literally make a cinnamon bonbon.
Well, okay, so is a bonbon technically just like, I know a molded chocolate with filling, but could it also be anything else with filling? Or does it have to be specific to chocolate?
I am not the most qualified to answer that. From my knowledge, it is specifically to chocolate.
Okay.
Because it's not even just like, oh, it's a chocolate covered something. Because like you have enrobed chocolates where it's like, oh, I have this thing and then I'm covering it in chocolate.
The fuck is a rogue chocolate?
Enrobed. Because you're enrobing it.
Enrobed. I heard rogue
Yes.
chocolate, dude.
Oh, rogue chocolate sounds like a badass name.
That just sounds like something that, like, I don't know, you're walking down a dark street
Yeah.
and you think someone's following you,
So,
but no, you let me finish this fucking allegory, you son of a bitch.
you son of a bitch, continue.
It's dark out. The streetlights aren't enough to guide the way home. You know the streetlights are on because it's time to watch Snick. You're trying to watch Snick. But as you walk, someone sneaks up behind you with rogue chocolate. That's how that... You interrupted my joke. I can't do a setup and then a punchline with, oh, hi, I'm Ty. Let me go fuck yourself. So anyway, talk about the bonbon.
This isn't going to go anywhere. Oh my gosh. So, to answer your question, because I just thought about it, bonbon refers to a molded chocolate because it's actually made in a mold. So, like, enrobed is like, oh, hey, I'm just dumping chocolate on here that's tempered, so it makes a chocolate shell. But a bonbon, there's like a mold, either silicone or polycarbonate, which allows it to get like that nice cool shine, not in the silicone, mostly with the polycarbonate. Blah, blah, blah.
So at home, do you have a mold for all these little guys?
Yes. I got a couple.
What is that? I'm so intrigued. So like a mold, is that like a metal container that you would, or
it's polycarbonate, so it's like a food safe grade plastic. So you're tempering your chocolate so that it's able to crystallize correctly, so you get that snap. You don't have like the fat blooming on top, so you get those weird looks on it.
I'll show you my weird looking fat blooms.
Ooh, yes, please. And then I'm doing filling. So for this one, because I'm doing a Christmas bonbon, I'm doing a Christmas old-fashioned bonbon. So it's a ganache filling with Angostura bitters as well as that simple syrup that I was telling you about. And then on top has the cocktail cherry that I like crushed up with the simple syrup. So you got like a cherry gel basically with this lovely spicy ganache. And the goal is that you can have it with our side piece, the Henry McKenna, and it will taste just like the cocktail.
Ah, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I guess we're about to find out.
Yes, so go ahead and grab your side piece.
All right. I'm going to switcheroo. So to reiterate, Ty is saying, just grab our side piece, which is just Henry McKenna neat.
Mm-hmm.
And let me get this little bonbon. All right. Should I chew into it?
So you should do two things.
I should probably chew.
Two things. You should drink your whiskey first.
Okay.
Get your palate ready for that. And then you'll eat your chocolate and try the whiskey again.
Okay.
So now that you got that
sip.
baseline, you can now pop in your mouth.
These are relatively small. They feel bite-sized, right? I
Yeah,
could
they are
probably
bite-sized.
just go ahead and...
Yeah, put the whole thing in your... Ooh, yeah, put that in your mouth.
I don't do that.
You dirty bitch.
Oh, that's fucking good, dude.
Right?
Okay. I like how immediately, and I mean this as a compliment, it collapses. Like that center, that cherry just fucking shows up to the party and says, hey, motherfuckers, I'm here. Everything that you just described in that bonbon is going to go ahead and sit on top of this straight up Henry McKenna and give you that Christmassy vibes. I'm getting a lot of like clove, but I'm getting a lot of cherry too.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally the cherry on top. It's doing some dances in my mouth right now, and that is a choreography for the taste buds.
Oh,
I love it. Well done. These look my Sweetlodians.
There we go. Is that what we're going to call? I love that. Let's call them.
Yes.
Listeners, you're now Lodians, and we love you.
Yes. Our Sweetlodians. These are... Do y'all remember the marble races you used to watch during COVID? That's what they look like. They're shaped like the little gumdrops, or like the ghosts from Pac-Man, honestly. But they're beautifully marbled. How do you even fucking do that?
It's just colored cocoa butter.
And it just mixes whatever pattern it's going to mix in?
So there's a couple ways you can do it. So for this one, I basically try to do almost like a yin-yang with like red and green, and then I came back around. So anything that wasn't covered, I then filled it in with white. So that way it would pop more.
Okay. Dude, well done.
Thank you.
Well done. You should be proud of yourself.
Oh,
and Ty and I do have a rule. We're not allowed to lie to each other. And in fact, listen, don't lie to people. What are you doing? Don't lie to people.
Yeah, lying's not for bitches.
Bad.
You're not a bitch.
No.
You're a Lodian.
You're a Lodian.
Last thing I'm going to geek on. So the reason why this works so well is because the fattiness of the chocolate coats the tongue, and the whiskey cuts through it. So that's how you're able to get all those different flavors as well. And then on top of the fact that you now have those flavors mixing with the whiskey, that's how it should feel like a cocktail that you're able to eat.
This whole conversation it's so nice doing this again because you're so smart and I have a lot to learn. So like each season I get to just like try to remember the things that you like. You're like, oh yeah, the layer of fat. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. That's how the tongue works. Like that's
how the dong works. Oh, that's how babies are made. I kept forgetting.
So I thought you said rogue earlier. You thought I said dong just now. I said tongue.
Oh,
but it's we're rusty. It's been like a year and a half since we I think last recorded. Nothing in a season happens in a year anymore.
I mean, we're really just taking on the aspects of like anime where like, hey, instead of trying to do it every week, we're just going to do a season and then take it as it is.
Yeah. Like I said, these cost $400 billion an episode, and that's a lot of resources, so it's just going to take time. Speaking of time, a word that goes in front of time is Christmas. Christmas time.
Christmas time. Merry Christmas, Lodians.
Merry Christmas, Lodians. We've covered Rugrats before.
Yes.
We're going to keep doing it.
Of course.
In fact, we're gonna do it for this episode, aren't we, Ty?
Yes, we are.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about babies in Toyland.
Babies in Toyland. Yes. Give us a little some insight, some breakdown on this episode.
Absolutely. So this it's season 9. So it's like the last season that's on Paramount Plus right now. And if you're on Paramount Plus, which I got to talk about this. I want to go on a tangent.
Do it.
Were you hearing their things where it's like Nick on Paramount?
Paramount Plus. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, okay.
Tell me what you feel, man.
I think we're probably aligned. I don't know how much shit talking we should do, but
Paramount, if you don't want us to shit talk you, sponsor us.
It's never gonna happen. We have de-arced. This started off as such a sweet podcast, Ty, and here we are, degenerates drinking whiskey and eating chocolate rogues and talking shit about people we want to sponsor us. That's not how you get a sponsor. We're gonna keep doing it though. Yeah, I don't know. It was I heard it and I was like, yeah, that's where we are. I think the whiskey is starting to make this episode interesting, Ty. Well, facts and stuff.
Yes. So, first off, there was a lot of facts for this episode specifically. So I just had to pull some facts that we hadn't covered yet. So in Rugrats, Stu apparently doesn't like going to the circus because as a child, Drew shoved his head in a cotton candy machine.
Was that explicitly stated in this episode?
Not in this episode. Like I said, there wasn't anything about this episode specifically, so I'm pulling things outside.
Got it.
Just to give something.
Cool.
But also, I'm like, I feel like we need to have a therapy session on just those two brothers.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's revisit that.
We'll revisit that. Others, apparently Dr. Lipschitz was allegedly created by the writers as sort of a dig at the show's co-creator Arlene Klasky. Who apparently is very similar to Dee Dee and just wanting to focus on like these child rearing books. So apparently there was this whole clash between the writers, like, hey, these kids should act like adults because we're catering to like older kids. But then Arlene was like, no, they need to be childlike. And apparently there was this whole battle. So they made Dr. Lipschitz to kind of make fun of her. And the fact that she signed off on that, I'm like, that's good spirits.
That's cool.
And I appreciate that.
I like getting made fun of.
Oh, if you can tease me, we're going to be best friends.
Yeah. I mean, there is a
Hold
wrong
on,
way
let,
to do
let,
it.
let me phrase that. If you can tease me and you're okay when I tease you back, we're going to be best friends.
Yeah. I mean, benign, of course, right? Don't bully people, but
Okay, yes. Even if you go like hardcore, like you come at me sideways on something that isn't as tender, and then if I can go back that same length, and you're like, cool,
yeah,
then I'm good.
we're not coming in from a place of maleficence. What is
Malfeasance?
I felt this word like leave my body and a new one get reintroduced, and I was like, I'm gonna say it. That's Snow White.
Yeah.
Maleficence. I took another hiatus before recording the season from drinking, so it's just a reminder to our new Lodians. Hello, sweet baby Lodians. This is a podcast where we drink whiskey and talk about Nickelodeon, and the whiskey will continue to happen throughout the whole episode.
So Sean, what he was trying to say is that he took a break. He was doing a marathon, and
That's sweet of you. It was a race.
it was a race.
A marathon would have been like 4 of these races.
So so he did like a 7K race.
Well, you're an asshole now. It was a 10K.
So then that's not 4 times. A marathon's 23 miles.
Yeah, which is 6 miles.
Yeah. So I was trying to
It was
be
4.
nice. And
Well,
you're like, asshole. So then you basically
back to
did
bullying.
half.
I'm going to go ahead and bully Ty now. It's okay to change your mind.
It's okay to say, actually, what I meant to say was, and you were wrong for me assuming that I was saying something that was incorrect.
And Ty, it was a combo of a race, and it was also a combo of like, sometimes you need a reset. Like a little reset from the booze.
I don't know what that's like. Because I honestly,
Oh, really?
like, besides the podcast, I don't drink that often. I might have a glass or 2 a week. So I've never been in a situation where I've needed to reset. But you were doing this race, this 10-mile race. So basically half a marathon.
Nope, 6 miles. 10K. Yeah, we here in the United States wanted to do the imperial system.
Fair enough. So
It
I
makes
was
it
right when I
confusing.
said 6 or 7. And you're like, you asshole.
Well, you said 7K, so you were still wrong.
Oh.
Math is hard. This is not the fucking Mathematics Anonymous podcast, so we don't sit here and do equations of algebra. If you're here for that, you gotta fuck off, man.
All the way.
Yeah, we're not gonna do maths. Why did you come to a whiskey and math podcast? It doesn't sound that bad, actually.
No, in fact, like the drunk mathematician sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, okay, I take all that back.
Yeah, you guys can stay and listen.
Stay and listen.
Be a Lodian.
Yeah, don't fuck off, Lodians. Please stay. Here, so lessons learned. We talk shit about our not sponsors that we'll probably never get, and our listeners. That's
But then we come back and say, please.
we say please, and we're also nice to each other, and we validate them when we do maths wrong. Podcast.
This was reminding me. We're gonna have to do another.
The Teddy Report for babies.
So, baby girl now, Leona, she's starting to get more of a personality to the point where it's like I will pretend to eat her food and she'll snatch that fork out of my hands to eat it herself and then giggle like, "Bitch, I got it before you," and it's melting my heart.
It's September of 2024. How old is baby Leona?
15 months.
15 months.
15 months.
Wow.
And she's been saying "Dada," but like just one time, very clear, she's like "Daddy," and I'm melted, man.
Aw.
I'm melted.
Oh, was this recently?
Yes, this was recently.
Oh,
You
that's
dumb
so
fuck. Why are you at? No.
You stupid
fucking idiot. Of course it was recent. She's a baby. No, it's she's starting to walk now. She's walking everywhere. And it's like she'll try and chase me and then I'll run around and she'll
No.
It's
How is she and Teddy getting along?
Oh, Teddy's like head over heels over her. And it's bullshit that he can make her laugh way harder than me. Like doing shit, I'm like, okay, this baby girl doesn't know how to enjoy the finer things of comedy because he'll fall down on his butt and It like sounds like Elmo laughing, and it's like it tickles me, how much she laughs with him. But I'm also like,
yeah, dude, it's a sibling thing. You're dad.
but I don't want to be dad. I want to be like.
What choice do you have?
I don't know. Okay,
Yeah.
I want to be the funny one.
You can be both.
I can be both.
Yeah.
I want to be the dad that makes her laugh more than her brother. But I
here.
don't need to be having a competition with my son, but I kind of am.
Yeah. You want to unpack that?
How does that make you feel?
What? I asked you. It doesn't matter how I feel. I'm wearing the headphones and I'm listening to you, baby. Oh, that's sweet though. It sounds like they're gonna be like the best like brother sister duo.
I hope so.
Oh, good. And that's probably. I mean, a lot of my friends have like had their first child, and then about. I know they're 15 months and Teddy's 6, right?
Yes.
So they're kind of like doing the 18-month kind of thing. Like,
yeah, at that point, now it's a competition where he's like, no, I feel like I could be part of raising her.
Yeah. He's gone through a lot of really important like early developmental years. But yeah, so I've noticed just like it's so cool to have like, all right, we had our first, and it's like, all right, we're gonna have another one because we want this. It's like you get a dog for your dog.
So
yes, I did just compare a dog to a child,
which I don't have a problem with because dogs are fur babies, babies are skin puppies. To that point, because I want to say this, some people have a second kid because they're like, hey, we're basically giving our kid a kid to play with, which sometimes works. But it's a gamble because sometimes if you do it so close together, they hate each other because like you're robbing me of my parents. Whereas now Teddy's old enough, he's like, I mean, fuck my parents. I'd rather hang out with this cool ass baby, and then he feels like he could be like that big brother. So it's kind of like that.
You got to find that balance.
You got to find that balance.
Yeah.
Don't try to do it so quickly on purpose. Give it some time so that they be like, no, I can kind of take ownership of this raising thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're letting them explore independence and team building, and just having like close relationships with a lifelong best friend.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a balance. It's not always going to be
but it's also,
sunshine
it's
and bon
never
mies.
the same either.
Bonbons.
Bon mies.
Oh my god, a baby bon mi. That would be.
I want that now.
Oh, we just went on a tangent.
Yeah. So basically, Sean hasn't had any drinks because he's been doing this 10K race.
Nailed it.
And then I haven't had anything. I haven't eaten breakfast, so I'm probably going to feel this really good.
I swear to God, you haven't had any like Advil before this, right?
No, it was Benadryl. It was Benadryl.
What did we say? We don't mix drugs and alcohol.
So yes, Merry Christmas,
Merry
Lydians.
Christmas.
We are covering Babies in Toyland, which of course you already know, but just in case for those who didn't, it's a play off of Babes in Toyland. So the whole premise is that Stu gets hired by Megacorp to basically make a Christmas theme park in front of the corporation, and Stu goes all out. Would
you expect anything less though? I mean, is this this is him going all out?
This is him going all out. Now, there's a couple things. First off, we got to talk about new things with Nickelodeon. So by season 9, we now have Dill Pickles in the mix. Dill, Tommy's little brother.
Yep.
And so not only is Dill... Oh, actually, there's another fun fact.
Go for it. Hit
Apparently, throughout the whole 9 seasons of this show, it takes the span of a year. All 9 seasons. Which I don't know how, because there's multiple Christmas episodes, but
yeah.
But apparently, Tommy's still 1, not quite 2, when Dill's born. So we basically get from Tommy's first birthday, and then shortly, sometime during that time, she gets pregnant with Dill. But we don't see that until season 5 or 6. I don't even know when.
Is that canon? I mean, it never mattered to me that there's 10 Christmases or 8 Christmases. And
yeah, I don't. So the canon thing is that it takes place. They stay young. It's not like Chucky
it's like South
ever
Park.
gets
They're
to 3.
in 4th grade for 26 years. The norm.
So at this point, everyone's going to go there. You have carolers coming in singing songs about a goose getting fat. I don't even know if these are real songs.
I just appreciated that was the very first thing that we kind of hear in this episode. And I was laying in my bed this morning watching it, just cackling at the idea of a goose getting fat at Christmas time.
Oh, apparently there is a song. I'm looking this up right now. The following commenters represent lyrics. Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat.
That was it.
Yeah, please do put a penny in the old man's hat. It's Christmas is coming.
Huh. I haven't heard this one, Ty.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, so apparently we're doing some pretty obscure Christmas carols.
I thought it was a Rugrats thing, but they're also really good about referencing things in real life. You know, so
they're pretty
I'm not
referential.
surprised.
And so it's actually kind of funny because they start off, these Christmas carolers are outside, they're singing, we're not leaving until we get figgy pudding. And so the Rugrats are sitting there like, I don't have any pudding. Do you have any figgies? And at that point, like, so I don't remember this other dog that comes in the picture.
I don't even know the dog's name.
Yeah. So basically, you have Spike. We love Spike.
He wasn't there.
He wasn't in this episode.
I don't want to. We're not going to speculate.
We're not.
Nope.
We'll try later. But there's this other random dog who's going after Dill's cookie, his little gingerbread snap, which, by the way, why the fuck are you giving a child who's practically 3 months old at this point a gingerbread cookie? Dee Dee, I thought better of you.
You don't give Leona gingerbreads yet?
No.
But it's Christmas time.
She's now 15 months. She's now getting like cinnamon graham crackers. So by the time, like, if maybe 9 months, maybe, but Dill's a little baby. Like, he can't even sit up by himself.
He is a tiny baby.
So, like, giving him a cookie is like, the fuck are you doing?
If you give a Dill a cookie, as they say. Yeah, this little dog it looked like a poodle.
A mini poodle.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it kept like trying to steal Dill's cookie, and then finally did. Dill starts crying, and they're like, "Oh no, the carolers are making Dill cry." No, you dumb fucks, you're babies. But I love how innocent they were. Like, "Oh, we got to make this special. Let's give these carolers like figgies or pudding so that they stop ruining Dill's Christmas."
And then it's really good writing because obviously in the song it's. Was it, we won't stop until we get some, we won't stop until we get some.
Yeah.
And then Phil's like, oh, they won't stop until they get some piggy. It's like, I don't know, and we're going to get there, but like this episode has a lot of like very quick quips.
Yes.
Which I guess quick is a redundant word in front of quip. Hey, the more you know.
Quicker than quips.
Quicker than quips. Quipper than quicks. And we won't stop until we quip some. So yeah, there's a lot of that, and it happens in this episode,
which I appreciate. So
yes.
So to give some context, now that we're in season 9, what has happened is there was a movie that came out. It's a Rugrats movie where Dill is introduced. Dill gets born. At the same time, Chucky's dad, Chaz, somehow rises up this lady in France. I think they're in Paris during this. In which case, he's now got a stepsister named Kimmy, yeah. So now she's part of the whole group.
Yeah.
And she fits in pretty well.
Oh, she's great.
Oh, she's fantastic for the group. They needed a little sassy lady to be like, okay, Susie's doing her part, but we need more.
Mm-hmm.
Which sadly, Susie wasn't in this episode.
No. And there were a lot of people not in this episode, specifically in the Toyland. I know we're going to get there. It was very vacant, much like the parents. Anyway, we won't stop until we get some.
So we now are at this part where you find out Stu has basically done a Babes in Toyland style theme park. He has gone balls to the wall with the animatronics. He thinks this is revolutionary, which honestly, it kind of is. But here's the problem with Stu. He's got great ideas and shit follow through.
He is a visionary, not an engineer.
I disagree.
Okay.
Because of the fact that he actually created it. He engineered these things. The problem is that he is willing to cut corners to make things go faster. Because for him, it's like, no.
But would you say engineers cut corners?
A shit one does. So a shit engineer.
Okay.
I'll give you that.
He's a better visionary than he is an engineer.
Yes.
Let's go that route.
We'll go that route.
Okay.
So at this point, it's actually kind of almost refreshing because he's done all this great stuff. And then we have Charlotte and Drew come in with Angelica. Angelica, of course, being the royal bitch that she always is. And so she's like shooing the carolers away, like, scram, I gotta get my presents.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, carolers. She said that.
She did, like word for word.
Yeah.
And at that point, you have Charlotte and Drew. So Charlotte is now the CEO of Megacorp. And she hires Stu to make this stuff. And everyone's all excited for him. Even Drew is like, man, you've gone like way above and beyond. Like, it's kind of like supportive. And I was like, oh, did we miss when they reconciled and like healed their past trauma? And
maybe.
We'll leave suspense, but no. And then we get joined by Phil and Lil's mom and dad, Howard, and why am I spacing on her name? Betty. And then we get Chaz. We also have his wife, who they get married, or I don't know if they get married, but they start dating. They get together in that movie. I believe her name is Kira. I'm going to look it up real quick.
It's Kira.
Kira Watanabe Finster. That is a mouthful. But yes, so they show up. We have Angelica's parents. We got Stu and Dee Dee. And then we get Grandpa Lou. And I don't remember him like dating again. He's now got a boo thing.
I know. They're so sweet.
And her name was like Lulu?
Is it Lou and Lulu?
I think so. Yeah. So it's Grandpa Lou and Lulu.
Of course.
So he gets remarried to this firecracker of a woman. I fall in love with her instantly.
Oh, she's great.
She's amazing. She's the grandma they needed this entire time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dolores. No.
Who's that?
Dee Dee's mom.
Oh. Okay. Well, this is not going to be a montage of Ty looking up names. It is, though. It is.
It kind of is. Minka. That's her mom's name.
Well, not replaced, but...
It's not replaced, but they had like the Jewish grandma who was just very prim and proper, and then they had this firecracker on Stu's side, Lou and Lulu.
Love it.
Like, she's very much like, no, we're gonna sing some Christmas carols. Oh, I love this. Like,
they sing the 12 Days of Christmas, and
then everyone else is like, that's so long.
It is. Did you know all of those are about different types of birds?
No.
Go
on.
Single day of Christmas, 12 all the way back down to 1.
So what are the 5 golden rings? Because that's
those
what
are birds.
Charlotte was thinking of.
Those are birds. Well, okay. Yes. Colloquially, we think about 5 golden rings as gold.
But
and rings.
Right. But what bird is that? Is that the golden finch? Like, what bird is the golden rings?
It's a golden ring.
There's a bird called the golden ring.
He's going to look it up because that's what happens in this segment that we call Montage. Yeah, every single bird is a bird. Every single name is a bird.
One of the things that you look up is 12 Days of Christmas, all birds.
Yeah.
The birds of 12 Days of Christmas. What the fuck? Because I
know. It's crazy.
I know there's the French hens, I think is what it is. You get the partridge in the pear tree. 2 turtle doves, which I know are the doves, 3 French hens, 4 calling birds, 5 golden rings, referring to the song of joy you might think, but actually refer to the ring-necked birds.
The naked or naked?
Naked. The ring-necked birds are most likely the common pheasants, which are introduced to England from China in the medieval times. 6 geese a-laying, 7 swans a-swimming, 8 maids a-milking, which apparently is the cattle egrets that like to visit the cattle. 9 ladies dancing. What? Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
So we meant to have video today. I wish you could see his face. We're not going to talk about that, but
we kind of.
I do love. I do love how mind blowing that kind of is, right? Because that's how I was when I first learned, which was like yesterday.
12 drummers drumming. That's the spotted woodpecker.
Yeah,
like,
I love a good spotted woodpecker. Yeah,
this is blowing my mind.
Yeah, so yeah, they're singing this bird song.
They're singing this bird song on Christmas.
Yeah, complaining that it's too long.
At which point we finally get to Toyland.
We get to Toyland.
And the first thing the first thing we get to is, of course, Angelica is like getting in front of the kids, like, y'all motherfuckers need to stay out of my way. I'm getting the first present. I have been good all fucking year. Fuck all of y'all. Which I love how she talking about how good she was while still being a total bitch.
Yeah.
And at which point the kids are like, yeah, but we want Dill to have like the best this first Christmas. And she goes, if I don't get my presents, he doesn't get another Christmas.
I know. What a thing to say. Yeah, Angelica says that shit all the time, but
yes,
it's like, yo, yeah, you're probably not going to have another Christmas.
And everyone's like, yeah, but like, if Angelica says it must be true. Well, there was all these other times it wasn't true. I'm like, well, I mean, do we want to chance it?
I love that. That's another good little quip they just kind of toss in there.
Oh, do it.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. This episode made me laugh a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And I don't know, it got me excited for Christmas. So great. Yeah. I think we first see a few animatronics when they get there, and man, Uncanny Valley, baby.
Oh, absolutely. That's it. It's crazy how well he was doing. He literally could have launched the Christmas of Chuck E. Cheese's.
The only thing that would have made this episode a little more creepy with the animatronics is if Mr. Fiend came along.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank goodness he wasn't.
That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
I don't want it.
But what's even crazier...
Not my Christmas.
...is we have all these kids who are like newbornish to 2 at tops. And they are left by themselves. All the adults, all of them, with the exception of like Grandpa and Lulu, go into like the little shed that has all the electronics, like where Stu can control everything.
Sounds like the introduction to a horror film.
Yes, Stu has made a snow machine, so he's actually able to produce snow, and he can control how much at once. Which
sounds good.
Sounds cool. And then you realize, hey, he can go from like off to light to medium to high
to medium rare
to medium rare to then like what the fuck, it's now like emergency.
Yeah, there's just a red square.
Yeah, it's a red square for
where the
emergency
needle
light.
could get pegged. Will it? I don't know. Do we do suspense on this podcast?
Yes, we do. And so at this point, everyone's like, oh, this is so cool. This is so exciting. And then Drew is like, yeah, but when is it going to mess up? He's like expecting it. So he was giving all these praises to his brother for like going all out. I was like, this is pretty amazing. But then he's like, but also you're a screw up, which is so not supportive, but also so accurate.
Well, it makes sense that Angelica's the way that she is. It makes sense that Tommy's the way he is.
Yeah, he's a survivor. I'm a survivor. Sorry. Well, you know that Tommy was a preemie baby. That's why he's so adventurous.
Is this like on the creepypasta?
I mean,
is
being a preemie,
canon?
or yeah, it's canon that he's a preemie baby.
When does Rugrats explicitly state that Tommy's a preemie baby?
I will have to look it up.
We can't keep looking it up. No. Ty, so starting in season 4, I don't know, my Sweetlodians, if you knew this, but Sean gets to put a ban on Ty's research project. After 10 instances of looking things up, he gets to put a ban on it. We're at 37.
So at this point, you find out that, hey, his control board is starting to short. There's getting some sparks. And so all Stu does is he looks in and goes, oh, hey, yeah, this cable shouldn't be touching the floor. And he hangs it up by a paper clip.
I
thought
maybe, I was like, when I first saw it, because they cut to it again. Yeah, no, it's a fucking paper clip. It's a
weak ass paper clip. A paper clip should be able to hold that cable. That's fine.
It's like a piece of tape hooked to a paper clip, holding a. It doesn't have to make sense.
No.
But it is a paper clip.
It is a paper clip.
And where a paper clip can be very, very useful, this is not a situation where a paper clip should be at this party.
I will fight the fact that, hey, if the cable could be held by a paper clip,
go for it.
And it honestly should have. Yeah. Fine. But the paperclip he uses apparently was on its dying breath, because it does not hold up.
I'm trying to think of a situation where a paperclip didn't do what it was supposed to do. Like how
It never like okay, if someone like twists it and fucks it all up, and then maybe
yeah, you can eventually like bend it and then it breaks, but that's how paperclips and rules work.
yeah.
Yeah. Call the fucking paperclip hotline. Customer support.
Help me.
Hey, the paperclip's not holding up my Toyland.
So at this point, we now have the kids. Grandpa Lou is watching them. He's saying, "Hey, Lulu, you go hang out with the adults. I'll watch the kids. Just bring me a hot cocoa." And so at this point,
And meet me under the mistletoe and go light on the marshmallows.
Oh my goodness, he loves this woman so much, and she loves him, and I am all about it.
I'm team Lulu.
Team Lulu.
Team Lulu. Yeah.
Team Lou cubed.
I like Lou cubed.
Lou cubed.
That's going to be hard to say. We'll keep
I mean,
trying.
s'more shorts. That's another tongue twister.
The things that I'm wearing?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Lou cubed. We'll try. We'll do our best.
So at this point, they now have a little shed that has a bunch of animatronics in the fashion of people from the 1900s, early 1900s, celebrating Christmas. So they have like a little saloon vibe. They got someone on the piano. And it is during this time, this paperclip gives up its ghost. It is done. It just drops that. And suddenly the cable hits the floor. And now electricity is sparking through the control panel. And the control panel goes from off to on to all the way on to now we're at the emergency. Which, again, why the fuck do you install it with the emergency if you don't want it to happen?
It's all because of flaccid paperclips.
If you had to depend on flaccid paper clips to make something work, but no, like still, like why would you have, hey, this is a worst case scenario. Why would you install it with the worst case scenario?
It's curious. It's the same question we have for why do some of these like inventions exist. I mean, we can go back to our very first episode where we talked about his murder,
his hovercraft,
all the creepy toys down there. It's like, why does this exist? And I think we have to stop asking ourselves why. And I think we have to accept that this is just what Stu wants to do, and we're going to have to let him just play with his little
So now we ask,
clips.
when is someone going to stop Stu?
What is going to... and we're going to run out of options very soon. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's a good episode of, like, Rugrats has always been good at this. Just the good old foreshadowing.
Yeah,
like
it does.
Yeah, but hey, I hope you like snow because it's in emergency snow mode.
Yes, and so they actually get snowed in. They can no longer. And what boggles my mind is there's like 5 or 6 inches of feet of snow that come out of this snow machine that he's made. And they were still walking around just fine. Like, did it just snow in this one area, or is everyone just walking on 6 feet of snow? Like,
I think
nothing
it did.
happened?
I think they actually made that work. There were like these snow machines that were, for whatever reason, in one specific area. And that's where they were.
Fair enough.
I might be wrong, though. There's a good chance I'm wrong about that. And you're not allowed to look it up.
You're banned.
You're banned, motherfucker.
All right, I'm just going to close my computer now.
Yeah, from here on out, this is misinformation. I think we got this, though.
We got this.
Let's keep it going.
Because there's so many different story arcs that go on. So now we have the adults now snowed into this building, and they're freaking the fuck out at first.
Some of them.
Some of them. And at this point, you now got Lulu, who's coming to the rescue. It's like, oh, we're just going to celebrate and have fun while we're here.
Let's embrace this.
Yes.
Right?
So she's like letting the animatronics play with the piano. And then she starts playing on the piano while singing with them.
And she's amazing.
She is phenomenal.
No surprise there.
And so you find out, like, Drew, of course, is like, I knew you would fuck this up. You always fuck this up. You're never going anywhere. This is when, like, all the walls come down and you realize Drew has no respect for Stu.
None. Charlotte's not so much about Stu. She's more like, this situation sucks.
Well, she's like, it sucks that I'm stuck with a bunch of animatronics from the 1900s. This isn't fun for me.
She's just not into the prairies.
Yeah, but also she's like, I now don't have to talk to all those like stiffs in the corporate board. Like, I don't have to talk to anyone. This is great. I'm happy.
Yeah.
She was super chill.
Yeah, she kind of leaned into the, you know what, like, we'll just make this work.
Yeah.
Dee Dee's fine.
Like, it's almost like I look at Charlotte and I'm like, I could see how she's like this ambitious type trying to do stuff, but then she's so grounded. She's like, I don't want to talk to people. How did Angelica turn out the way she did? I believe it's Drew's fault.
It's Drew.
It's all Drew.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Justice for Charlotte.
It's both of them.
Charlotte brings in the money that allows her to get spoiled.
And probably isn't there as much for Angelica. I don't know if we want to go down this rabbit hole. We don't have our dear sweet psychologist, Dr. Leah Chart, in here to talk about this. We're not qualified. All we know how to talk about is fucking medium rare nipples and
and whiskey.
And whiskey. We're not qualified to do things, Ty. We can't do this. We can speculate.
We can speculate.
Yeah, but I think this was a interesting situation of it. It's like a split room. It's like how do you deal in isolation when you have no control over a situation? How do you handle it?
Ooh.
And that's what's happening
How
here.
do you handle when you lose control?
That's what this is.
And Charlotte was chill.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Howard, though, fucking Howard, sweet Howard, he is not handling this well. And it was just one moment. You don't remember it, do you?
No, I don't. Like, fill me in. I don't recall this.
He tries to like light a lantern or something, and then slips and falls, and I can't remember who, but someone just looks over like, Howard, get it together. I think it was Kira. I think Kira goes up and says, Howard, get it together. And it's like, it's through.
No one likes Howard.
Man,
oh my god.
I think we were hoping that maybe he would arc through 9 seasons. I don't know if this
No one liked Howard to the point that when they rebooted, they just didn't include him at all.
I know. Yeah. Bye, Howard. Oh, this calls for a bonbon. Give me a bonbon.
Done.
I just want a bonbon. Oh, yeah, I can't. Oh, yeah, but so yeah, how do you deal in isolation?
That's a very interesting concept because while they're dealing with isolation, Angelica's getting a come to Jesus moment where she's like, I am looking for Santa, and then she finds where their makeshift Santa, who's just doing a favor for a friend, is dressing with Santa, and she barges in and he goes, hey, fat ass, where's my presents? And he was like, oh, I mean, Santa's not supposed to be giving out presents for another 5 minutes. And she goes, I don't give a fuck, give me my present.
You've seen Bad Santa?
Yes.
It's funny how our minds get tainted, sat on by the taint of life. Our brains do. And the whole time I'm like, oh, this Santa's going to be a dick. Like, this Santa is going to be a fucking asshole to Angelica. And this dude handled it so well. Like, you could see his frustration.
There was 2 points. I'll let you finish.
And I know what you're talking about. Like, but dude was like, I would have been way worse. I would have been like, listen, where's your parents? I can't fucking do this right now. Please, Elf. Elf's like, I have a name. It's Jared. Elf, take this creature out of here. I can't do this right now. That's how I would have handled it.
Yeah, that still would have been better.
Than how he did?
Yeah, because he was like, hey, I'm going to give you this whack-ass present. And she goes, I don't like this. Where the fuck is my, Cynthia, airplane?
She wanted, a something that she could, ride in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so at this point, you could see him getting mad. He goes, oh, well, little girl, And then he just runs. Like, if you're going to tell her off. But he runs and tries to hide from her. Of course, the kids are like, hey, if we sit by Santa's chair, we'll see Santa. Santa comes in, and they're like, oh, it's Santa. And then the little girl, or Angelica, starts yelling at him again. And he goes, you know what? No, fuck this. Fuck y'all. I'm out. And he quits.
Okay, yeah. That part was all right, Santa.
So
he's like, I'm doing this as a favor to my brother-in-law. It's
yeah.
Like, what? You're giving way too much information away, Santa. Too much information is bad information.
Yes.
Santa, if that was a real name.
He does chastise Angelica. It's like, you deserve absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's like he's not wrong, but
then he goes from that to like, I fucking quit.
yeah. I don't know. I kind of feel for Santa in this situation.
I mean, I feel for him too, but I'm saying like, look, if you're gonna lay into her, lay into her. Don't like run away and hide, and then like, well, I'm quitting because this girl's a bitch. Just be like, no, you don't fucking deserve anything. Give me that little reindeer back.
He probably assumed like he's like, you know what, man? Like, there's so many kids here. If there's one asshole, there's a million, and I don't have time for this. I don't even love my brother-in-law. He's an asshole. I'm doing this for free. He was probably pro bono Santa.
He was the pro bono Santa.
Pro bono Santa.
Pro bono Santa.
Sounds like a It sounds like...
What does it sound like, Sean?
It sounds like sunscreen you wear during the wintertime. And when I say sunscreen you wear in the wintertime, I mean sunscreen that you wear in the wintertime. My sweet fair-skinned prince.
Aww.
Oh, my moon... Tie the moon burnt.
Tie the moon burnt.
Oh, good times.
Sean the Malental.
Oh. Well, I don't know. It's about that time where...
This holiday season, step into a world of wonder at Megacorp's Christmas Land theme park. From thrilling rides like the 19th Century Pioneer Pavilion to the dazzling Battle of the Nutcracker, there's fun for the whole family. Meet our last-minute Santa and his elves. Take a stroll through our magical twinkling lights courtesy of our snow machine. Megacorp cannot be held liable in the instance of being snowed in one of the pavilions. It's in the agreement. Indulge in hot chocolate, shop for exclusive Christmas gifts, and enjoy a heartwarming holiday outing sponsored by Megacorp. Don't miss out on the holiday event of the year. Visit Christmas Land Theme Park, open now. Don't be a stupid dingus fuck. Get your tickets today. Christmas Land, where Christmas dreams come true, come true, come true, come true, thanks to Granddaddy Megacorp.
Yum whiskey, yum whiskey, yum whiskey, yum whiskey, yum whiskey, yum whiskey, yum Whiskeylodeon.
We're now coming back where we are talking about Angelica and her redemption arc. So Santa's quit. And at this point, Angelica is like, you know what? Fuck Santa. I'll just find his workshop. If I can find all the elves, I'll get my own presents. I don't need Santa. Fuck him and his hoe of a wife.
Well, where there is smoke, there are elves. That's what they say.
That's a saying. I think it's Nordic.
It's a saying. It is from Nordend. Hey, can I have some more whiskey?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, top me off, baby. Actually, I got you. It's good.
So at this point, we now got two separate adventures. We have basically Angelica's like, well, we need to find Santa's workshop so we can keep this Christmas going. And she's like, hey, kids, y'all should go in the woods by yourselves. Go look for Santa in there. Like, what the fuck, Angelica? Endangering all these kids by putting them on their own. Which, again, why are the adults all leaving? So we go back to Grandpa Lou. Grandpa Lou has passed the fuck out.
He has.
He is asleep on the same bench. And before the kids leave, they're like, you know what? Let me leave this thing of hot cocoa for Grandpa Lou.
Tommy is the most thoughtful human.
He is.
He makes me want to be better.
He's a thoughtful bitch, and I love it.
He's like, well, when Grandpa falls asleep, when he wakes up, he usually wants a snack.
Mm-hmm.
So he pours some hot cocoa and puts it on the bench.
He doesn't pour it. He just grabs the cup that's already been poured.
Oh, okay, yeah, that.
Yeah, we can't give credit to where credit's not due, but
because he doesn't have thumbs.
Yeah. Some elf is making the hot chocolate and makes cups, and Tommy just grabs the cup and brings it to Grandpa Lou. And it's kind of endearing because Grandpa Lou finally wakes up and he sees this cup of hot cocoa and he's like, my wife just took the kids for me. Oh, she is so sweet.
He says, she really is the perfect Christmas angel.
Mm-hmm.
And then just nothing's wrong.
Yeah,
it's perfect because it now he doesn't have to go search for the babies because they're fine.
Yeah, Lulu's got them.
But are they, Ty?
No, they're not. So we get Angelica with her redemption arc. And this I loved. I loved a fucking lot.
This whole sequence, right?
Yeah, this whole sequence where she finally finds where all the elves are, and she goes in, and like in her imagination, like here's the thing. Realistically, these are all just animatronics. They're just animatronics. But in her mind, in her vision, she sees these elves trying to pack up presents, and then an elf is telling her off about how she's such a bitch. And it's like, look, you don't actually deserve any presents, just like Santa said, because you don't have any friends because you're a bitch.
I actually didn't know which way they were going to go with this, because obviously the babies and their imagination is stronger.
Yeah.
Angelica, they did, and it humanizes her a little bit more, because I was like, is she? I mean, what is she, like 4 years old? Maybe
No, she's three.
3, and I don't know.
Well, no, she might be 4 because she was in preschool. She's like, you'll learn that in preschool, but you wouldn't know that now.
I don't know why I was scared there was going to be a direction where she sees everything as animatronics and doesn't have this ability to tap into her imagination. And
Well,
it doesn't go that direction, thank goodness.
Thank goodness. But here's what caught me off guard. She has imagination. I didn't doubt she did. But the introspection that she basically put on these animatronics to be like, no, you're full of shit. Why are you being so mean? Look, here's a book of all the names of people that deserve Christmas presents. Look, you're not on it.
Yeah.
Like, first off, great burn. It's like, oh, Angelica Pickles? Oh, I see Tommy Pickles. I see Dill Pickles. I see Chucky, Phil, and Lil, and Kimmy, and
Just as I suspected, no Angelica Pickles on the list.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was such a good burn. But she's sitting there imagining these people talking shit to her.
It's processing guilt.
It's processing guilt.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And like, even she has like this little reindeer called Prancer. That's just a little doll, but apparently it's a real life reindeer in her imagination. And he's like, I can't go with you. You don't appreciate me. I want to go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's like, you called me dumb. She's like, I call a lot of things dumb.
Yeah.
And
she's trying to justify, but
Yeah.
like suddenly now her own reindeer, the only present she actually got from Santa, it's like, I don't want to be with you because you hurt my feelings.
And then they dive into this little musical number.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I remember a very specific moment. There was a word that I think it was like something naughty or nice, blah 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 blah. Give you lice.
Yeah. It's like
what
all you
happens
deserve
there?
is to get lice or something like that.
Yeah, but I think elves gives you. I couldn't remember who the culprit was, but basically, childrenlodians, don't be a dick or you will get lice.
That's exactly what this episode was saying.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That's the season.
And so all that takes place, and Angelica has that self-reflection, because then it comes back to reality, and she's just around all these animatronics. That's it. So you realize she just had the self-reflection in her imagination calling her out on her bullshit, which honestly is phenomenal.
Pretty great.
It is amazing that this 4-year-old who puts off this air of just a total spoiled brat can have the self-reflection of, I'm not being kind enough.
Was this the last season of Rugrats?
Yeah.
So, kudos.
Kudos, absolutely.
Kind of great. And then she picks up her deer and walks out.
Now, we'll come back to Angelica, because now we got to go back to the kids, because the kids are going through the woods.
Y'all ready for a battle sequence?
Oh my gosh, I'm ready for a battle sequence, because they come in and they ended up touching a button which activates the Battle of the Nutcracker.
Well, even right before that, I think Chucky stumbles upon a giant walnut.
Yeah, he someone's a giant walnut, and they press a button, and now we got a nutcracker coming out, and he crushes his nut. And it was like, what is going on? Now, it was kind of crazy, because how they introduced the Nutcracker is they were going straight into the imagination. So it literally looks like, oh my goodness, they activated animatronics, and it's chomping on a walnut. It is moving around. I was like, holy fuck, did Stu just like revolutionize animatronics like he actually said? And
I think because it was so... it was seamless between
very
animatronic
clean.
and the baby's animation
It was
or
very
imagination, and a lot of times, like you can really tell. All right, this is baby POV. This is not real world. But this, I was with you, dude. I was watching, and I was like, "Yo, is this motherfucking Nutcracker? This 20-foot tall Nutcracker running at these children
with a facial expression of murder."
Yeah." And then you realize he's running towards them, but he's running at something else.
Yeah. Turns out they're fighting the rats, and they're fighting the Rat King.
Yeah. We get the whole Nutcracker couple songs from the suite.
Yeah. So now that you have these animatronic rats who are sitting there trying to attack the Nutcrackers, the soldiers of the kingdom. At which point, the imagination of these kids just perfection. Because somehow Chucky ends up getting a sword. It looks like one of the rats slashes at him, but apparently the sword got stuck in his pants and rips a hole out of his pants.
Yep.
And now you see he's got Reptar undies.
Perfect.
Which, I mean, MeUndies. Get Reptar.
And then sponsor
us. We will do the video podcast, and we will wear Reptar undies.
I'll do anything for MeUndies.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, this sequence, though, was such a cool way for all of the babies to get their present.
Yeah.
So first, Chucky gets his walnut.
Mm-hmm.
Or it should be a chestnut.
Chestnut, walnut, it's a nut.
Yeah.
In which case, you got Phil and Lil. They are able to grab the shoes off of a ballerina animatronic.
Just one.
But one got a shoe. The other one got the ribbon.
Yep.
And then you had Dill ended up taking someone's hat. Not even sure where that one came from. I forgot about that one.
It came from Angelica running through the streets, running through other carolers. She had this is kind of before her arc, and one of their hats falls, and she goes, "Hey, you dropped my hat," and puts it on. And then the babies have sledded down at this point, and that she gets hit by the babies, and then that hat falls to Dill.
Oh, that's right.
That was kind of that
okay.
Yeah. Kimmy gets it's a bell from one of the Nutcrackers, I think. A dingly dangly or something.
A dingly dangly.
Yeah. And then who are we missing?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's everyone.
Yeah.
And so at this point, they're now going around and they find, so there is now a manger. So they got a little baby Jesus with all these people.
Yeah.
And it's kind of astounding that he made these animatronics as well. Because now you have this baby and no one's really looking alive. They're all animatronics. And they're like, oh no, this poor baby, he's not going to have another Christmas. And he's so sad about it.
Yeah. They're also like, he's got to be really fucking cold.
Yeah. So then they're like, well, we're going to give you our stuff. So like they give the hat that was Angelica's, and they give like the walnut or whatever nut that is. They give the ribbon, the shoe. They give everything. And then somehow one of them activates it and the baby starts to smile. And everyone else starts to smile. And like, oh, maybe this is the meaning of Christmas, is being able to give to other people. And it was really sweet.
Yeah.
And so at that point, they are now trying to walk back, and they run into Angelica, who's got this whole bag full of presents. And she goes, guys, I realized that I was being a bitch and I wanted to get you stuff. So she's giving presents to everyone. And they're so happy. And you could just see Angelica isn't just like, hey, I got to do this so I get presents. No. She is genuinely like, hey, I'm just a helper. I'm just like one of the helpers like the elves, and I'm just trying to pass these out. It was a change, and I was like, fact that all came from her imagination, just magnifique.
Well, and she gets to Tommy last. So all the other babies, they got their gift. Mm-hmm. She gets to Tommy, and what happens, Ty?
Tommy is like, I mean, the only present I wanted was Dill to have a great Christmas. I already got that. So here you go, Angelica. And at that point, she's like, oh, I got a present too. Because initially what had happened is she didn't have a present for Dill. And so she was so sad that she didn't have something for Dill. And at that point,
she turns and has this, she's like, I got him the most special gift. She turns and like this moment of like the true moment of kindness.
I'm going to miss you, but this other person needs you more.
Yeah.
Like she gives the present that she got to Dill. Like that's, oh my gosh.
Something she didn't want that she grew to love, that she had to let go of.
Yes. That's, writers, just round of applause.
Yes,
that was
great.
Amazing and phenomenal writing. And then, of course, Grandpa Lou gets called in because he's like, hey, I'm just chilling. Like, our Santa quit. He goes, well, I'll be your Santa. Like, are you good with kids? Like, yes, I have kids that I have not seen in like some time.
Well, he was like, I dare you to find someone better.
Yes. And so, of course, he's being Santa. And then over the intercoms, they hear like, yeah, there's these 6 kids that are riding a goat And he immediately knows, like,
He's like, yep.
fuck it, that's my kids. And he goes,
Yeah.
all right, I gotta go. It's like, are you quitting? It's like, bitch, you weren't even paying me.
Yeah, and that kid pissed on him.
Yes.
It did.
Oh my goodness. There was a kid who was like, oh, I want myself. And they hand him the kid. He goes, oh, he's wet.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to be completely honest with you. When I heard the elf say he said he's damp.
he's damn. Yeah.
I had to rewind it because the way he had said it sounded like he said he's deaf. And I just, Rugrats doing what they do sometimes. I was like, did they just throw in like a really tasteless, like, I was like, what does that have to do with anything? And no, he wasn't deaf. Everyone, he was damp, and that made sense.
Yes.
Yes.
So at this point, now we got Grandpa Lou. He's got a whole like Santa sled. And he gets the kids, and then he was like, "All right, well now we got to find the adults because apparently they're not here." And he goes finds them. He hears them singing carols. All the adults are now singing carols. They've come together now.
They were singing the Deck the Halls.
Yeah,
And Ty, do you know how short that song is?
very short.
They had to have been singing it for a very long time. I think they were actually losing their mind.
I don't know if they were singing it a long time because they were singing a whole bunch of stuff. I think it just happened to be coincidental.
No, because they show it, and then we cut back to some of these sequences we talk about.
When they cut back, things can happen at the same time, and they just got to show it.
I like to think that they were there for
Fair
a whole
enough.
year,
They were singing it for a whole year,
just rocking in
and
their
in which
animatronics.
case, you get Lou there, and he has to shovel through like 6 feet of snow. He's like, "Hey guys, I just saved y'all," and everyone's all happy, and even like Charlotte's like, you know what? I didn't even have to talk to any of the people I don't want to talk to. I got to hang around people I actually like.
Yeah.
And it was just all sweetness. Drew never apologizes to Stu. Drew can go fuck himself.
And that's okay. From a writing standpoint, I kind of like it. It's like
Not everyone comes with a clean.
not everyone gets
arc.
a redemption arc. Not everyone needs
Sometimes
to be.
the villains just need to be a villain.
Yeah. Sometimes. Well, and it could be nice to see them rekindle, but sometimes it isn't like that. It can be messy. And that episode, I think the overarching message was there anyway. So it was like, you know what? Maybe off screen,
Yeah, it doesn't need
it
to be
worked
hammered
out.
in.
Yeah. Maybe Drew doesn't want to do it in front of everybody else because he's too prideful or whatever it is. Maybe they got to talk it out.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see.
But regardless, this episode warmed my heart, man.
Same, dude.
It warmed me just as much as this whiskey cocktail is.
Yes. It was a nice way to start the day. Yeah, I like I do most of these episodes. I watch them in bed before before we start recording, and I was like, "Oh, god damn it, this is so fucking endearing."
Oh,
yeah, it was a sweet episode. I didn't realize at the time that maybe that was like one of the last episodes. I guess it wasn't quite.
It wasn't
but,
quite, but it was still
kinda.
the last season.
Yeah.
So like the last Christmas one.
So that makes it pretty special and kind of like puts a bookend on Rugrats for me.
Yeah, because I mean they didn't come back until they did Rugrats all growed up, and then they went into like the reboots, which came out in like 2021 or 2.
Yeah, something like that. You can't look it up. You're banned.
Oh,
Yeah. Good stuff, man.
yeah,
We did it.
We did it.
Season 4, episode 1,
in the books.
in the Santa bag. What do you want to talk about now? We're done.
We're done. We did it.
We're fucking done.
We did it. Do we need an elf for new Kevin?
We don't need a Kevin Elf. I don't think so.
Okay.
No, he's been dead for so long.
Which one?
What does that mean? In what world is that an appropriate response to he's dead? Which one?
Well, because we had the first one got fired, and the second one burned in a fire.
Right.
And then I don't know if that first one ever died or if he just disappeared.
So
that's why I said, which Kevin are you talking about? And
Our-
you're like,
our-
which one?
our sweet Lodian nuevos. You have no idea what's going on. next week, what are we talking about?
Ooh, we're gonna cover the Good Burger 2 movie.
Yeah, a little sequel action.
We watched this when it came out, and we wanted to cover it, but like shit has just been crazy.
Crazy.
So we're coming at it a year later, and we still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So
It go watch it if you get a chance to. I think that's also on Paramount Plus.
yeah,
And it's a lot of laughs. Honestly, loved it. I can't wait to talk about
what
it.
I
with
will
you.
say, you got to get past the first 30 minutes, and I say that because the first 30 minutes is very much like an homage to the first movie. And then it's after that it picks up and it's like, oh no, this is really good.
Yeah, it does. It's a movie that finds its own voice.
Yes.
And it's as goofy as the first one. We'll save some of that for next week, but we're excited to talk about it. Glad we got to talk about Christmas time.
Yeah.
And Rugrats.
Also, I got you a present.
What?
Yeah.
You got me a present?
I got you a whiskey making kit. So you got your own little whiskey, or it's a neutral spirit, but then you can put all this stuff to flavor it.
Where?